Hi, we're back for day 4 and different day today. Nick has said, let it all go. I think I let it all go yesterday. Anyway, the idea was to play, and the idea was to choose a couple of colours that really light you up and that you say yes to. And the first two colours I thought about were sky blue and yellow sand, the Australian beach. Because obviously at the moment we're locked down, so we aren't able to get out there to the beaches, so you have a sense of longing. So I got my little journal out, my visual diary kind of muck around play journal, because it put me in the mood to play. And I've got a mixture of Mod Podge and water there that I'm using. Now I know that this is a very wet mixture. I've got some, I don't even know what this book is about, the Japanese pages, but I wanted to have a bottom layer of the idea of one day I'd like to travel to Japan. So even though it's wet and even though the page is crinkling up, I know that I'm going to sand it back when it's dry. I've added a little bit of paper that I printed out from a website, which was, I think it's a Chinese or Japanese astrological chart with writing. So once again, I have no idea what the words are saying, but I loved some of the little symbols and diagrams. And it reminded me of the compass that we're doing with Nick. So I'm just adding more pages, more bits and pieces, just building up a layer of a collaged background. I'm not really thinking of anything too much at this point in time. I'm just enjoying, yesterday was a messy day. Today the sun's out, it's shiny and it's bright, a bit windy, and going over to my daughter's, so I'm not really thinking of work, busyness, getting things right, any of those sorts of things. I'm actually just thinking of being me and not worrying about anyone else's judgment about that. So in the left corner I added another little bit of that astrological or astronomy chart. I'm not sure really. I can't even remember because I printed it out a while ago. Now I was thinking, this is so layered. I knew I was going to be doing a very, very layered piece, but I wanted it to be clear and uncluttered. But you know what? I just can't do that. I have so many layers to myself. And I found the bit of masking tape that I keep on finding bits and pieces of all the time and realising, that's actually the past. What I was thinking in my mind was, I did that when I started Louise's little, I think it was a 5-day tester course before she ran her fuller course. And I realised as I was putting it down that, wow, that's really, it's like these underlayers are part of wishes, like going to Japan, but also part of, I actually never finished that course. I didn't finish it. I'm going to finish next one. I did finish his last time. And I've added on some white acrylic. So it's not a very, very opaque acrylic. It's quite thin and sanded back. And that's what I mean. It's all in between each layer. I've dried it and I've sanded it back. Now those little squiggles, the yellow squiggles, I realised were very much in line with the beach theme today. I thought, no, I'm not going to overdo things. I'd seen a squiggle and I'd seen a blue little patch of sky, and that's what ended up coming out. But the squiggles ended up being much more playful and much more relaxed. And I hadn't really been doing a solid block. So the little blue squares, and the one on the left ended up being informed by the page underneath which had some cards stuck, so there were different levels of cards stuck on. So I was getting a little bit of it's called frottage, where you do a rubbing, where you use your wax pencils over anything like a grate or anything, and you just do a rubbing to get the imprint. A little bit of blue Posca for some spatters. And I realised it looked like a door. So I have put a little doorknob, put a little hill in front that it's sitting on. I forgot to talk about, I'd used the yellow Posca and the white Posca to make kind of sand dollar-y sea kind of shapes with the mark making. Bit of the a darker blue Stabilo all pencil. There's my motif back again. So I've got my two motifs in. I still did manage to. And I also feel like I ended up wanting to put these spirals. It felt like little vortexes of, I don't know, just energy vortexes, but also sand dollar-y. So it kind of ended up, this piece being very sort of literal, oh, the beach, to actually there's just all this energy going on around us, and we're, you know, we're doing the best we can. I was looking for another little page because this book is about a fisherman, and I realised that somewhere in the book there might be something, and it's okay because it's an altered book, so I've been pulling pages out, and I found that hand in the water, and it just really linked into, for me, the doorway, the little guiding hand to, it's okay to step through that door, what's on the other side. I've added a little bit of type, I've added a little bit of my little flower stamp that's also a bit of a motif going through the whole thing, the whole project. And by now I'm looking at it going, I just wanted a white page with 3 squiggles, but it didn't end up that way. It's ended up once more so layered, and so, you know, I could judge it as being cluttered, or is it? Is it cluttered, or is it actually lots of things? So I had to be a little bit literal. Open here, an arrow, filling in those little squiggles, extra marks. Just adding more. Where are the squiggles going? So now those little vortexes look like little vortexes of energy that I decided I had to squiggle in. Bit of cross hatching. When I was thinking about text, I went, oh, seaside. Well, I never use the word seaside, I say beach in Australia. That seaside was almost like a going back to my past in England. I was born there. Just adding some extra bits and pieces, and I wanted to, I just thought, oh my goodness, it's a bit blonde, you know, it's a bit blank. I've got to add a bit of depth to it and add a little bit more of the darker. And then after I did that, I remembered, oh, I was going to keep it really plain and simple. It didn't end up, so I thought, wow, I just totally tried to use a white oil pastel to whitewash it. And that reminded me of the wash with the, you know, with the beach. So I wrote blue sky, and that was it. And I hope you enjoyed this one today. Thanks for watching. Bye.